my meditation is going to be coming from the book of John, the 13th chapter, verses 12 through 15. After washing their feet, he put on his robe again and sat down and asked, "Do you understand what I was doing? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right because it is true. And since I, the Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash each other's feet. I have given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you." My meditation is entitled, "We are saved to serve and not to sit." How many people in here belong to a gym? And I suppose, you pay a membership fee to go. And even if you don't, there's a certain look that you have when you go to the gym. You have on your workout outfit. It may match. You have on your heart monitor, sweatbands, whatever it is that you wear to the gym. You put your hair back if you're a woman. Whatever you need. You bring your water bottle, you bring your gym bag, and you go to the gym to work out. Let's suppose you go to your gym. Let's say your gym has like a smoothie bar or a lounge area where there's like a TV where you can learn different exercise techniques. Let's suppose you go and you're all ready to go, but every time you go, you just sit in the smoothie bar. Or you just sit in the lounge where the TV is. How much weight do you think you would lose? How effective do you think that you would be with getting other people to come to the gym based on how you look and how your health improves? Not very much, right? Because all you're doing is looking the part. Well, now let's transfer that to the church and to God's kingdom. Many of us look the part. We come, we're dressed up, we have our Bibles in hand. Some of us even pay tithes every now and then. But all we're doing is looking the part. And that does nothing to build God's kingdom. There was one Sunday we had a visiting church that came in, and the church will remain nameless. And the pastor says to me while we're downstairs and we're serving dinner, and I was cleaning up plates and setting out stuff, and he says to me, as the first lady of this church, you really shouldn't be doing all this work. So, he's older than me, so I gave him his respect. It was just like, oh yes, sir, But, where is that written? Is that in here anywhere? Why is it that because I'm the first lady that I shouldn't be serving? That is nowhere. Jesus washed feet. Now, let's just talk about that for a second. Back then, that day, they didn't have Timberlands, they didn't have Pumas, and they walked everywhere they went, and they wore sandals. Now, can you imagine those disciples' feet? They was crusty and dusty and rusty. And here it is. This is the Lord who created us that had no problem washing their feet. We have no business to come into the house of the Lord or even be on this planet and sit and not serve. The purpose of serving is to build the kingdom. And the purpose of the kingdom is to provide a way for people to get saved. So it's imperative that we do our part inside and outside of the church. And there's plenty of work to be done. When each of us does our part and uses our God-given gifts, we help to build up the church and the community as a whole. So our charge is to take a personal inventory of our skills and ask the Lord for guidance. And that's the important part. Ask the Lord for guidance. And then let's put those skills to work in kingdom building. There's always a need to be met. Just around here, does anybody around here know how to hit a hammer or do a screwdriver? If you look at where our hymnal book sits, some of those are loose. We need somebody to come in and fix that. Do you have organizational skills? The pastor has stood up here several times and said he needs somebody to help him because when he comes up here to do his announcements, he forgets stuff. So he needs somebody to check in with him a couple times a week to get his announcements together. So every Sunday, it's a sheet up here with bulleted items of stuff he needs to talk about. You could volunteer at a battered woman's shelter or a soup kitchen. It doesn't have to be done right in here. But just remember when you're serving, don't serve to impress man because there's times you're going to do stuff that goes unnoticed. So you cannot depend on somebody to pat you on the back or to acknowledge what you're doing. We do this to serve God. And that's our role and our job to do that. We were saved for a reason, and it's not to sit. Let's stop making excuses. Yes, we're all busy. Yes, the gas prices are high. Wow. But let's deny ourselves, take up our cross, follow Jesus, and serve.